Joining on the sofa with Esther is Michaelene March, CEO and founder of the Caribbean Global Awards, an initiative dedicated to celebrating Caribbean innovators, leaders and entrepreneurs whilst uniting the global community and driving economic growth worldwide. Here we go. So good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are across the globe. Welcome to an Easter Sunday special with a very special guest, Michaelene March. And I know we're going to have an interesting and a fabulous conversation as we always do. But before I go any further, I'd just like to introduce this phenomenal lady. So I'm honored to welcome an inspiring powerhouse to On the Sofa with Esther, Michaelene March, the remarkable CEO and founder of the Caribbean Global Awards. So I've got a little bit more to say about this lady. So the Caribbean Global Awards is an initiative aimed at increasing the global visibility of Caribbean culture, uniting the Caribbean diaspora, and promoting economic development. The awards celebrate Caribbean innovators, leaders, and entrepreneurs who have made significant contributions across various fields. The 2025 ceremony is scheduled to take place on the 27th of September at the Cumberland Hotel, Great Cumberland Place, Marble Arch. And if anything's changed since then, we'll hear that from Michaelene. But welcome to On the Sofa with Esther.
Hi, Esther. It's a great privilege to be here with you. And no doubt about it, being on the sofa with Esther is a real privilege. So, sis, I'm so proud of you. That's the first thing. And thank you for having us. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, and I'm really feeling that energy as well. But before we dive deeply into who you are and what you do, I like to ask my guests, yes, who is Michaelene in a nutshell, in a peanut shell, or you gotta be a coconut ball because you're from the West Indies, from Barbados.
I am a true Caribbean child. To be honest, there's nothing like it. That obviously, from the diaspora, African heritage, and I have to say, and the Indian heritage. I'm a really rich child from the Caribbean. When I say rich, I'm talking about the fabric that unites us. My maternal grandmother is from Sautes in Grenada. My grandfather served in the West Indian Army, and he's from Barbados, Christchurch. I know you were gonna do that. My father family is, my grandmother, bless her, rest her soul in peace. Helen, she is the Indian descendants, and I'm born in Trinidad and Tobago, so I'm a Trinbagonian as well. So I love it. I can't hear you. You went quiet on me. Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay. Well, I was saying it's a nice, rich mix. I guess when I mentioned Barbados, I'm being a little, just hold you for myself. But anyway, let's start to explore a little bit more about yourself, the phenomenal woman that you are, with the work that you do. Now, give us a little bit of background of the Caribbean Global Awards. Why did you set that up? What was the burning desire? What was the gap that you saw where you felt, I really want to celebrate the Caribbean and its innovators?
I think if we step back a little bit, so I come from very humble beginnings. I come from a place called South Europe, which is it's the southern part of Trinidad, the island Trinidad, and so the people who are from that region is humble, very village-like, if you know what I mean. Everything that represents village, beat the child from the village. That's where I came from, and education is a must. Education is a must. And not only education in the context of just university, but if you're going to be a painter, you better be the best painter. If you're going to be the bricklayer, you got to be the best bricklayer. So it's that sort of fertilizer that gets into your soul. Yeah. And I'm not saying that the other parts of Trinidad or any other Caribbean island, I know it will be similar or the same, whereby that grounding was there. So therefore, as you embark on your own career progression, you come across people who are exemplars, like How did it, how? That's the question. How? Oh my goodness, how? Because I come from a village and I'm like, God, you're Caribbean like myself. And I'm going to these really incredible meetings all over the world, and I'm seeing my Caribbean people sitting there. And I love it when I see people of the other ethnic diaspora sitting there. But when I see Caribbean people, it actually moves a nerve of joy and celebration and proud, despite the fact some of them may not want to say hello, but I'm glad that you're there. I'm really proud that you're there because I know what it took for you to get there.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
There's more than just people thinks it's dedication. It's a lot of hard work because you have to be better than everybody else times 5, times 6, times 7. And it's like I say, it's like that, there's a song, and I can't remember her name, but there's a song that says that on concrete, a black rose grow. And it's to see that rose growing out of the concrete, to see Caribbean people there. And I've been thinking about it for the past, well, it will be 5 years, but 3 years before the first one, I was thinking about how can I create something that the young people, can actually see a Caribbean person, the best agriculturist, the best hairdresser, the best pilot, and have something to look forward to do, to have a vision, a benchmark. Years ago, I had done something called Master of Your Destiny. And Master of Your Destiny was very male orientated. And I had some of the most amazing people, Daniel Taylor, Winston George Ellis, all of these. I got a lot of men in the room, and I took them to Enfield and invited mothers to bring their sons because we were heading on a spiral of nowhere. And they all got there. There were lots of different amazing men who were there. We had chefs, we had everyone who actually talked to mothers and young men about how they got there. Yes, and one or two of those followed that pathway. Some, I don't know where they are. And so therefore it's not something new for me to do this. I just want to make it. So Master of the Destiny was the foundation of me recognizing I have to do more than just being a speaker. There's a lot of talk, but what are we actually doing to move that boundary post? It's a lot of talk, and I don't really get into that. I want to see action. So I knew that right across the world, last year we had someone from New Zealand who is a fantastic photographer from the Caribbean. Can you believe it? We have people from China, Japan. I'm like, nominations from China, Caribbean person, a Jamaican. What are you doing there? And then you see what they're doing is amazing. This year we celebrating people like Dr. Cropper. Your flat screen television, that's the man. He's Caribbean. So it's like there are so many of us that is all over the world, and we don't know each other. And you know what we separate each other from? We need to be a little bit more united. This thing, oh boy, you're good over that Bajan girl. Oh boy, you're good over that Trini girl. We have to be a little bit more unified because we're just tiny islands, but we are so powerful.
Fantastic. I mean, when you were talking, there's so many other questions that was sort of really popping into my mind about what you spoke about, the passion in terms of how you presented this. And one key thing, and I'll just present this to you, Michaelene, is you said you've come from humble beginnings. A lot of people have come from the village, and the village mentality. The village was their world, and to inspire beyond that is incredible. But do you also think that discipline also, because to be the best, you had to be disciplined, to be better than, there had to be a discipline. I mean, obviously in the West Indies, we know that discipline was really high on the, I remember I lived in Barbados for maybe about 6 months when I was younger, and we went to school there, and, it was just on a different level. But as you're speaking, I'm getting all these attributes that the village held for everyone. And like you said, it was to foster this thing of greatness, this thing of do better than, and maybe also that was inspired by where a lot of the elders had come from, going back and wanting better for? And I just present that question to you. It's a bit of a long-winded question, but wanted to, yeah.
I think that we have to get back to basics. There's three parts of this. One, if a child, a young adult, and even an adult, because I still see people that I think, wow, they're doing that. I wonder if I could do that. If you can actually see someone creating something, not copy and paste, but creating something that is unique, that USP, yeah, then it triggers within that person something that is creative, something that breaks the boundary, if they think that's the path that they want to go to. We have people in their 80s who are now doing their PhD because they always wanted to do it, but they saw somebody else through social media who've done it, and yes, I'm going to do it. They may not have come from the structure of that, i.e., perfect home. Yeah, they may not have come from a home where there's a discipline, but there's a thirst. So there's three parts of this. One is the thirst of that human, how hungry and how thirsty you are to get where you want to go. The middle bit of that is actually recognizing that failure is positive. And every time you fail, you're closer to success. And once you accept that the more times I fail, it means to say I'm oiling this for a powerful success. You get comfortable in your soul. Then the early part of it, when I was talking about humble beginnings and good beatings as well, because I was a stubborn child, I was the one asking the priest why he drinking first, and then I had to drink after. I didn't get that. And to ask that in a church with my grandmother, I tell you what, you would like to know the ringers and everything, right? So having discipline that doesn't only fall within the family structure, but falls within, if I knew I went somewhere, I know that neighbor will tell this one, and before I get home, it's already there. So that's what I'm talking about, that village thing. And when you go back to the visit, you feel the love. You go back, I go back and I meet my girlfriends from way back, the Linda, and I meet Allison, and I feel, and I'm alive. I see Maura, and she disciplines me, and these are the people that it's not yesterday. They are from my early schooling. So therefore, it shaped you because they are the ones not afraid to say, hey, you're slipping, You're slipping. Yes. And that keeps you grounded. And we must be humble. We must be humble and recognize that in every person, even a person who is selling nuts on the side of the road, you can learn something from. And Caribbean Global Awards is about recognizing the best nut seller there is. You know what I mean? I know we get all the academics, and great, we celebrate them. But what we encouraging through our ambassadors, we just really celebrating our new ambassador, Diane Felician, who is in St. Lucia. We have ambassadors all over the world. And with that concept, it's for them to reach the grassroots and find out who is the best. And we've linked that also to the Caribbean Global Institute, where people like yourself, Esther, could be great mentors to someone who wants to do what you're doing. And they could be sitting in Barbados, Jamaica, Montserrat, whatever. And oh my God, I want to do something like that. And through the Caribbean Global Institute, we will be able to give them the training and then give them the relative letters after their name so that they could actually. So that's where we're going. So the Caribbean Global Institute is the first time when we have really great support. We've had a wonderful donation from a fund, from a person who wants to remain anonymous, but that brand, I will just say surname, Brand Foundation, has actually been the first donor to to the Caribbean Global Institute. And that money is going to be, we are super proud that we have a lovely lady who's attached to the University of the West Indies, that we'll be able to break this fund up and actually share it for students who actually don't have enough economics to go to university or may not have a laptop, or the usual things that most of us would have gone through if we come from humble beginnings with a standpipe outside and the wooden toilet outside. Humble beginnings that still exist today. You know, when the rain falls so sweetly on the galvanized, ping, 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 it sounds so good, but your belly full with good home-cooked food. These are the kids that we want to reach so that they can become better than me, better than you. And then when I'm an old lady, I can look and say, yes, look at him, look how far he's gone. Because we cannot afford, Caribbean Global Institute doesn't have the money to afford right the way through. But if we can give a little bit, and we could have people like yourself and others who are doing amazing work to mentor them, then that's a great thing. We also are open. It's not only for Caribbean nationals or descendants. It's for anybody who's doing great work that impacts the Caribbean economy or in any context, or even community development. That's why we celebrated Cheryl Rogers this year, because she's doing amazing work with phonics, autism in Antigua, and she's spreading this right across, pushing for kindergarten school children to be empowered. So it's about us really reaching out and holding hands and working together for a positive outcome. We can't change the world. We can't change what's happening in the Caribbean politically. We're not interested in that. We a little at a time. So yeah. That's it.
Wow. All I can, it's just like wow. And I really want to ask you, about your passion for this. I mean, I think you've touched on it briefly. You've spoken about the work that you're doing, and you've spoken about who you want to reach out to. But I'm going to ask you this question. Why? I know you've seen a need, and you have a passion for that need to reach out and touch and inspire and grow and influence. But on a deeper level, Michaelene, why?
When people ask me, I love that, because I want all the young people out there to hear this. If you don't listen to anything else, I want you to hear this. Why not? When people ask me why make any decision for my life? Why decide to plant pepper instead of tomatoes? Why not?
And that's when you say that, then what you do, you're keeping it energetically unlimited. Then there are no walls, there are no and even if there are, you are prepared. You've already set in your soul that this is what I'm going to do. So there are no boundaries. There's
no limitations.
No limitations.
So if you have to know anything about me, I have no limitations and boundaries in regards to my professional growth. In my personal growth, the navigational tool that keep me within the boundary is my Bible, right? And my strong mother, Hazel. And my husband, who I love dearly, Anthony. They bring me down flat on the ground. Yeah. So I'm involved in lots of things. I'm the founder, the chair of the BAME Health Collaborative, which is an organization that look at clinical guidance that affects Black, Asian, ethnic minorities. I set this up because I was concerned about our health and care and what is happening for us. I am the chair of the Trinidad and Tobago Association. I sit on the Independent GP Forum as on the committee for governance. I'm on the World Safety Forum board as an advisor. For FOCAS of Singapore, I'm on the board there as an advisor. I'm a European ambassador for ECS Career Services. So I am really, as well as within my own framework of what I do in health sector, all of this gives me an opportunity to meet Caribbean, African, Asian exemplars who you just want to say how, instead of why. I don't ask why, I ask them, how did you manage to navigate all of the social, racial, political? How did you manage to get here? Because to be quite honest, I want us to be more sitting on that corporate table. So when I see, there's a gentleman from Southern region, and I'm going to call the first part of his name and not the rest, Leonard, who is also from a village, in the Southern region. And when I see him corporate wise for the big banking, and I'm like, it warms my soul. I mean, he and I, we know each other and all of that, but it warms my soul when I see that we have Mia Motley, and see her speaking at the UN. It warms my soul. Dr. Hilary Beckles, President Irfan Ali, for how he was able to respond to Hard Talk. It changed the perspective that we can actually, for the first time, have a conversation about this is what you think we are and how we failing environmentally. Let me just explain it to you. It's powerful and impactful. And so therefore we have other people who are doing amazing stuff, not only in sports and entertainment and all of that, which is fantastic. There are other people chipping quietly behind the scenes, in education, in engineering, in all sorts of fields, in digital, in AI, legal, and they are quietly doing it. And most of them don't want to be awarded. But I want them to know we're not awarding them as a flashpoint to go on the stage, collect something and that. No, we're awarding them so that we could create a repository of all of these great people. So that, and I want to shout out to the British Library because we are going to drop it there with all of these exemplars. It's going to be in our third book. It's going to be there with all of them from first going up. And that's going to be there for history, including all our judges and all adjudicators. It's going to be in there. So we're creating something where we want that to be our record. These are the people we want to tell you about. It's difficult for Caribbean Global Awards because it's not attractive for sponsors. It's not attractive. It's not as attractive as, the big African continent or the Asian continent or India. It's not that attractive. But it doesn't, I love, and I want to thank the Caribbean African people, Afrexi Bank, who supported us, building these bridges, and all our partners and sponsors who believe in the vision. And the vision is that we must no longer be hidden.
Excellent. I mean, gosh, this is half an hour already. I'm going to go over by about 5-10 minutes if you're okay with that.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah? Because one of the questions that I would like to ask from that, you said you've spoken to so many people, in terms of not the why, the how. And what, if you could sort of quantify, what were the responses in terms of the how?
Well, some people said to me they didn't have a choice. Because as I see the doors closing in on where they were, that's stagnation that happens. Yeah. You've been there too long. Yeah. It's an unspoken thing. Yeah. They knew they had to force themselves through the door, and it's survival. For some, it was an opportunity that presented itself. But there's a particular gentleman, and I know he wouldn't want me to call his name, and because he's quite well known, and he's going to be coming next year. So I've got to give him respect. And he said something to me. He said, when you walk around as a child barefooted, and you come home and you wash your pants and you wash your shirt and you put it back on your back, there is something about when you're walking and you're looking and you're seeing the big houses and you're seeing the nice cars, and you're seeing the children who are your age who look really well dressed. Even though now I could buy all of that, now I want more. I no longer see the houses I can afford. I see the things that I cannot afford. And that forced me to go that extra mile for myself and my family. And when he said that, I just went quiet. I went quiet. I thought of my grandmother coming from Grenada. And wow, I thought of my grandfather. I thought of my grandmother setting up, in and working. I thought of my mother working in England. And I just, in the days when no dogs, no whatever.
Oh,
And
Irish.
yes, yeah. I thought of all of that when he said it. It really, the way that he said it, it dropped like a lead in the sand, in the sea. Yeah, a lot of ripples. I didn't ask anything more because I had reached a deep core. But we are very close, and I want to say thank you. Yeah, it kept me really grounded. Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about what to expect on the 27th of September.
Oh gosh, you gotta get your tickets because it's limited tickets and they're going fast, and we don't want the issue again like last year. Oh, you gotta give me one more ticket, please, just one more ticket. We have fixed number of seats, and most people are just buying up tables, so you gotta get in there. Nominations for the Caribbean Global Awards ends next week on the 30th. So if you haven't nominated yourself, which we encourage self-nomination, nobody knows anything about you as well as you do. Just nominate yourself. It's great. I could talk about you all day, but you know yourself. Come on, be a leader. Let us find you. Let us celebrate you. Let others know about you. We want you to be part of the Caribbean Global Institute. Our semi-finalists and finalists become part of the Caribbean Global Institute. They're given 1 year free membership.
So where can people go to
the website? They go to the website and you will see the links there for you to buy your ticket. You see the links for nomination. We also have the People's Choice that closes in June. The first year, Mia Motley won. Second year was President Irfan Ali. This year, St. Kitts and Nevis just seem to be leading by, but it's close. We still have until June. So you can't speak about this because you don't know. We have cricketers in there. We have authors. And if you think that someone could be your Caribbean Global Leader, you just go to the link and you put them in. One of the things we want to thank is the Cumberland Hotel for their hospitality. They've been amazing. And this year we're doing Mardi Gras. We're doing Mardi Gras. The marks, the whole thing. And you know what? We're not putting up with one of our chairwoman who won, Tricia Zinisa Joe, who won Best Dress last year. It didn't happen this year. We all coming out for her. We're not playing with you this year. So it's going to be a Mardi Gras team. Before we end, I know it's really important that I say this. I want to thank the core team. Yeah, I want to thank everybody who's in the core team. I want to thank the judges. I want to thank the adjudicators. I want to thank the advisory panel. I want to thank the volunteers, the supporters. I want to thank and give a big shout out to Godfrey Ceylon, who is in Ghana, and Josephine, who is in Ghana, who is doing all the work behind the scene. I want to thank our ambassadors. Most importantly, our ambassadors play a fundamental role. We have Ambassador for West Africa, Dr. Emma Olivria. Our regional chair is Dr. Baliram Chadi, who is in Canada. We also have Deirdre, who is in New York. We have Jan, who is in the Bahamas, and we have two amazing patrons who do amazing work. We also have our brand, international relations, and Dr. Stacy Brand. And most importantly, we are going to be announcing our patrons at the end of next week, who are two fabulous people, Dr. Clifford Thomas and Dr. Debbie Bartlett. we are going to be announcing them, and we're super proud to have them on board. And to all others who are behind the scenes, who help us to shape the Caribbean Global Awards, especially Russell, the videographer who works with Pine Studios, and Olivia, who is in Ghana, who comes over and do our filming. I just want to thank them both, because it could be anything without them, and all others who help us.
Oh, I've just been blown away. I knew this conversation would have been so powerful. And I've just sat here like a little Siamese cat smiling away.
You know, but here's a true Bajan accent come out now. It really came out now. I love it. No, hey, I love it. Do you know what I mean? It's brilliant.
I just want to say thank you so much. And it would be great to have you back on in the future. We can talk, because we can still follow on from the conversation, not just about the awards, but all the other things that surround the awards and what the awards mean. We can really just keep building out on the conversation of greatness and standing in your greatness and moving into your greatness. So, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to say a huge thank you to Michaelene for sitting on the sofa and for sharing the incredible work that she's doing, and everybody that's involved, and the institute, the awards, and just the bubbles around that. And if you feel inspired, whether you want to nominate yourself or nominate someone else, or just find out more about how you could potentially get involved, or if you need some support yourself, check out the Caribbean Global Awards website, get their details there, and become part of greatness, because that is ultimately who you are, who we are. And there's something about the we.
Yes.
There's something
unity.
About
Unity is our strength. That's our motto. Unity is our strength. I just want to thank everyone who's looking. Please share this. And I want us to promote what Esther is doing. It's a fabulous platform. We need to celebrate her, and she would be on our website as well. Her logo be there. So we need to celebrate her. And before you go, I know we're ending, but Stephen Banks, can I say, Caribbean Global Awards Connector of the Year. Loving you, baby. You fading out.
So I only met Stephen 2 weeks ago, because I joined this WhatsApp group. And if you ask Stephen anything, because he's about heart, he's about soul, he's about the people, and he is limitless within himself, and it just pours out of him. So Stephen, we thank you and we honor you as well. I'm looking forward to
you. We love you.
So, ladies and gentlemen, hope you've enjoyed the show. I am going to put this, is going to be put up on YouTube channel, and then we're going to put segments around TikTok and Instagram, on LinkedIn. So let's keep pushing the boat out about this. And ladies and gentlemen, if there is any other message on this Easter weekend, it's step into your greatness. Step into your greatness. Michaelene, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye, everyone. Bye. Bye.
If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more content. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to click the bell icon for notifications on future videos. Thank you for watching.